Hello everyone, I'm Ethan Haberly, and today I'm going to be doing a breakdown of the dYdX platform. Now I understand this platform has existed for a while and there's a lot of information out on it, so I'd like to kind of streamline that information and make a comprehensive understanding of how to use the platform and what you can gain out of it. In combination with my video, my colleague Matt Farrow is going to be putting out a video of an Obsidian graph breakdown of the research we've done on the platform and its place in the DEX space. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy. Let's get into a little bit of spot trading. Spot trading is offered on pretty much every decentralized exchange and every really centralized exchange, and it's just the act of taking an asset and exchanging it directly for the market price of another asset. So if I wanted to buy at market value ETH right now, I could put in my amount of ETH as 0.015 ETH, which is worth approximately $22.67 based off of the current price of ETH. And this leverage here is something that we'll describe later when we get into leverage and margin trading. But for now, I would set my leverage to one times. And I can buy 0.016 at 1 times leverage ETH, which comes out to be 24.11. And that's how much money I essentially have in my account. So my entire account would go into that ETH. And the way spot trading works on dYdX is through a decentralized order book. And this order book essentially takes what a seller is trying to sell at that time and the price and the amount of that asset they're trying to sell, and it pairs them up with buyers of that asset. So if I put 1 ETH on the exchange and I want to sell it for the current market price of ETH, it's going to connect me with someone else who's trying to buy a certain amount of ETH as well. So if there's 10 people out there each trying to buy 1/10 of an ETH, it's going to connect me with all 10 of those people, and it's going to sell that in pieces to them so that overall I get back the entirety of that ETH. And this works for small transactions and works well for small transactions, but if you get into something like, if you're a whale and you're trying to dump a lot of a cryptocurrency on an exchange, you will crash that exchange, but you'll crash the value of that coin because the supply and demand isn't there. If I put a ton of ETH down right now, all the people trying to buy ETH, there won't be as many people trying to buy as much as trying to be sold. Therefore, I will lose money. Now that we understand spot trading, let's get into some perpetual contracts and limit trading. Let's get into some limits and some perpetual contracts and what makes dYdX special. So dYdX is special because it has perpetual contracts, which is something that is not offered on traditional markets. Anyone who's traded options before knows that an options contract essentially states a price, a strike price, and a date that an asset has to be sold by. And then the options holder can choose to either exercise that strike price or sell the option back. Now, a perpetual contract, like the ones on dYdX, means that this contract doesn't have a specified date that it has to execute by, unless the buyer of that contract sets it. And so if I wanted to buy $0.1 ETH when ETH is at $10, it'll cost me $1 to buy 0.1 ETH. And this contract, if I put it out into space, will sit there indefinitely. And it will wait until ETH hits $10. Now, is ETH likely to ever hit $10? No. But if I have that contract out there, it will indefinitely wait until it hits that price. And this gives me some advanced settings right here so I can decide how long I want this contract to basically exist. Because like I said, ETH is not likely to hit $10 ever. And so they say, hey, if you set this to good till time, and I set it to 28 days, this contract will exist for 28 days until ETH doesn't hit $10, because it probably won't, and then nothing will happen. Another option is a filler kill. In a filler kill limit order, it will put this out on the market, and it will say, okay, what's the market price of ETH right now? It's going to look at it, and it's going to realize that my order cannot be fulfilled because ETH is worth way more than $10, and it'll kill it. Immediate or cancel is the same kind of concept. It's going to look at the price on the market at this time. It's going to say, what is it? Oh, not that. Cancel it. Finally, you have execution. Execution is something that I've never really used. Post only means that it posts to the ledger and essentially creates more liquidity, but it doesn't actually execute the order. And I'm not entirely sure what reduce only does, but for most traders, these would not be important. So now that we know how to make a limit order, let's talk about cross-margin trading and margin trading on dYdX. now that we understand limit orders and perpetual contracts, I'd like to get into some cross-margin trading and some margin trading, why it's special on dYdX. You see, so dYdX offers 20 times leverage, which is provided by them as a lender in the liquidity pools, and it allows you to use 20 times the money you have in your account to get into bigger positions at bigger risk. And I tried explaining this in a take earlier and trying to show how leverage works, but I decided an example would be easier. So if I have $10 and ETH is worth $1,000 and I want to take and buy ETH at 10 times leverage on my account value, I can get 0.1 ETH, which is worth $100. Now this is awesome because I'm in a way bigger position than I could have gotten in with just my $10. But if ETH goes down 10% to $900, I'm on the hook for 10 times, or I guess 1/10 of the amount of that change. So when ETH changes $100 down to $900, I'm on the hook for $10, which means my position will be entirely liquidated. My entire account will be liquidated if that's what my account's worth. This essentially just means that you're on the hook for more risk when you take out leverage. And so if I wanted to buy an amount of ETH, like, 0.20, it's going to tell me that with my current account value, I could leverage 12 times my account value in order to buy that amount of ETH, which would take my buying power down. It would keep my equity the same, but it would use an amount of margin on my account. And the thing that they're talking about with cross margin on dYdX is that if I have different positions in different assets, I can use all of the equity provided by those positions in order to get into other positions on other assets. So if I've got $50 in ETH and $100 in Bitcoin and $50 in DAI, I can use the equity of all of those $200 in order to get in a $200 position of Solana. And this is cool because it's allowing you to use a lot more of your equity to get into bigger positions. The problem with this is, as the price of those assets change, so does your equity, which means your liquidation price of the SOL that you're going to buy essentially is going down, or going up, I guess. You're getting closer to that liquidation price. And so that's how cross-margin trading works on dYdX. And it works as, the comprehensive overview is that it works as a system for you to get into bigger positions than you would already be in at a higher risk. Now that we got that cleared up, let's finish off with governance and trading rewards. So now that we've gotten through some cross-margin trading and I erased our ETH example, I want to get into governance and trading rewards, which is what actually makes dYdX special, or part of what makes it special. And trading rewards are what big investors recoup when they have to pay all these crazy fees to trade. And so obviously I have 0 fees paid and 0 estimated rewards because I haven't traded more than $100,000 in volume. But for people who are trading more than 100 grand on dYdX every epoch, which is 28 days, there's a reward system that they're giving out dYdX tokens back to these traders to make up for the fact they paid all these fees to trade. And so every 28 days there is essentially what is 3 million dYdX, and this actually dropped from the beginning because of a governance vote, which I'll explain in a second. But proportional to the amount of fees that an account pays, let's say I paid 2% of the total fees paid by traders on dYdX, I would get 2% of that 3 million dYdX. And that's worth some amount of money right now, depending on what dYdX is trading at. But it also gives me the option to take part in governance and staking. Really quick, I'll explain. Staking is the ability to put your dYdX out as liquidity in the safety staking module, and it pays out an APR, 14% I think it is right now, so that you can get value back on the coins that you're holding. Now the other option is to not stake it, just hold it or sell it. But if I have it, I can take part in governance. And governance is an ability for the people who are using the chain to decide what happens on the chain. So I'm going to open the governance website, and it shows me a bunch of statistics about the governance. It's actually loading in. But governance is the ability for all of the holders of the currency, and it is split among a whole bunch of people. And it lets them decide what happens on the chain through what's called DIPS, which is just the idea that we're making the protocol better as time passes. And so based off of how much each person holds, they get a certain weight in their vote. And Boiler Blockchain research team, or Boiler Blockchain as a whole team, I guess, has a grant scholarship, or not a scholarship grant, but just a grant in dYdX of 2.5 million coins, which is a pretty big deal with a circulating supply of 132 million. We get the option to make decisions about what happens on the chain or what happens on the protocol in the future. And so that's a really cool part of dYdX, in my opinion, is the ability for the users to decide how things go in the future and what the future of the protocol is going to be. I hope this video has served the purpose of helping you to understand dYdX and helping you to get more interested in DEXs in general. This has been Ethan Haberly. Thank you.